All of us might have been in a situation of finding ourselves talking to someone and somehow the person just doesn't get us. Or maybe we've left a conversation thinking, wait, that's not what I meant at all. Yeah, communication can be tricky, but here's the truth. How we say things is just as powerful as what we are saying, whether it's with our spouse, our co-worker, our kids, or even our followers online. Effective communication is one of those life skills that can either open doors or shut them quietly. In this video, I want us to talk about 7 simple but powerful ways to communicate effectively with actionable methods you can start applying right after watching this video. And no, this isn't one of those lectures full of technical jargon. I'm talking about real life relatable situations. So if you've ever felt misunderstood, unheard, or just want to get better at expressing yourself, then this video is for you. You're welcome to Charming Persona, and here are 7 ways to communicate effectively. Number 1. Listen to understand, not to respond. You know that moment when someone's talking to you and while they are still speaking, you are already rehearsing your reply in your head. We've all done that one time or the other, but here's the thing. Real communication starts with listening, not the passive kind where you just nod along, but active listening, where your goal is to truly understand the other person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Let me give you an example. Think about a time when you confided to someone and they immediately jumped into giving you an advice or correction. It can feel a bit frustrating. Sometimes all we need is to feel heard, not fixed. That's the same thing others want from us too. When you stop and truly listen, you are telling the other person that he or she matters and that their voice matters and you care about what they are saying. So next time you're in a conversation, pause the inner dialogue in your head. Ask clarifying questions, and if indeed you want to understand and just be present, you'll be amazed how this simple shift can make your conversations deeper and more meaningful. 2. Pay attention to non-verbal expressions. If you've ever said, "I'm fine," when you were clearly not fine, then you understand just what I'm talking about. This applies to everyone, even me too. And that's because communication isn't just about words. It's about tone, it's about facial expressions, and it's about body language, even about the silence. In fact, studies show that over half of what we communicate is non-verbal. So if you are only paying attention to the words someone say, you are missing a huge part of the conversation. For example, a friend might say, "I'm okay," but if they are avoiding eye contact, speaking softly, or their shoulders are slumped, they might actually be overwhelmed or hurting inside. On the other side, when you speak, your posture, your tone, and your gestures can either reinforce your message or completely contradict it. Effective communicators learn to read the energy in a room. They notice when someone's uncomfortable, disengaged, or just tired, and they adjust sometimes. The best response isn't a clever reply, but offering a safe presence. So next time you are talking with someone, don't just hear them, see them. Watch for those unspoken signals. They often say what the words don't say. Number 3, speak clearly but be concise. Let's be real now. Nobody likes a conversation that goes in circles, especially when it could have been said in half the time. One of the biggest communication barriers is being too vague or long-winded, trying to beat around all the bushes. When your message is buried under too many words or unclear language, it's easy for others to tune out or misunderstand you. Think about times when someone gave you a long explanation and by the end you were still confused about what they actually wanted. It can be very frustrating. On the other side of the situation, have you ever caught yourself rambling, hoping the other person would have just gotten your point eventually? This thing happens to everybody. The key here is to organize your thoughts before you speak. Know your point, then just say it simply, directly, and with confidence. That doesn't mean you have to be robotic or overly blunt. You can still be warm, expressive, and kind, but make sure your words aren't dancing around your message. Clear communication builds trust. People are more likely to respond to your opinion and respond well when they don't have to guess what you are talking about. So next time you need to communicate something important, just pause, breathe, and get straight to the point with love and clarity. 4. Be open to feedback. Effective communication isn't just about sharing your thoughts. It's about being open to hearing how others perceive you. Feedback isn't a criticism, it's an opportunity for growth. And honestly, we all can improve our communication styles if we are willing to listen to how others experience us. Let's use an example. Let's say you are speaking at a team meeting and you think you are being clear, but afterwards someone might tell you, "I didn't understand what you meant at all." At first, it might not feel good, especially if you were confident about your message. But here's the thing, feedback, even when it's hard to hear, can help you identify your blind spots and refine your approach for next time. Being open to feedback also means creating an environment where everybody feel comfortable to give the feedback. When people see that you value their opinion, they'll be more honest and direct with you. And the best part is that it improves not only your communication but your relationship overall. Remember that communication is a two-way engagement. The more open you are to feedback, the best you will be at connecting with people in more meaningful ways. 5. Know your audience. One of the most underrated skills in communication is knowing who you are talking to and how to tailor your message to fit them. What works for one person may not land the same way with another, and if you are not mindful of this, your message could miss the mark even when your intentions are good. Imagine explaining something to a child. You naturally simplify your words and use examples they can relate to. But that same explanation wouldn't work in a business meeting or when you are talking to a friend going through a tough time. Each audience requires a different tone, a different approach, and sometimes even different vocabulary. This doesn't mean you are being fake, it means you are being effective. You are showing respect by communicating in a way the other person can receive. For example, if you are speaking to someone who values logic and detail, you just don't give them vague ideas. You give them structure and clarity. But if you are talking to someone who's more emotional, then you have to lead with empathy and connection. No. To know your audience is about being intentional with the person you are talking with. It's about asking yourself what matters to this person, what's the best way to reach them where they are. When you do that, your communication becomes more powerful, more compassionate, and far more impactful. 6. Manage your emotions before you speak. I believe we've all been in a situation where we say something in the heat of an argument and we later regret it. When emotions run high, it's easy to let frustration, anger, or anxiety hijack the way we communicate. But here's the truth. Emotionally charged communication rarely leads to productive outcomes. Let's say you are upset with a friend or a partner. If you speak while you are still boiling inside, chances are that your tone, what could have been a calm discussion, will eventually turn into a full-blown argument. But if you give yourself time to breathe, to reflect and process, you are more likely to speak in a way that builds connection instead of tearing it apart. Managing your emotion doesn't mean you suppress them. It means you acknowledge how you feel, but you choose how and when to express it. Writing them down, stepping away for a walk, or even saying, "Can we talk about this in a few minutes?" It can make a whole lot of difference. One of the marks of a great communicator is the ability to stay calm and clear even when emotions are running deep. You don't have to be perfect, just be intentional. 7. Practice empathy in every communication. At the heart of every meaningful conversation is empathy, the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and truly care about how they feel. Communication is not just about delivering your message, it's about making the other person feel seen, heard, and valued. Think about a time when someone really got you. They didn't just listen, they understood. Maybe they didn't just agree with everything you said, but they made space for your perspective. That's empathy, and it's a game changer in communication. When you approach conversations with empathy, you are not just reacting to words, you are responding to the person behind the words. You ask yourself, why do they feel this way? Or what could have been going through their mind? The mindset helps you to listen with kindness, speak with passion, and diffuse tension before it starts. Even when you disagree, empathy allows you to express your thoughts without demeaning others. It reminds you that everyone has a story, and sometimes just showing that you care enough to understand can make the whole difference. So the next time you communicate, just pause and check in. Ask yourself if you are coming from a place of understanding, because when empathy leads the conversation, communication flows. And here we have it all, 7 powerful ways to communicate effectively. And remember, communication isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Every conversation is an opportunity to build trust, to deepen connection, and bring more clarity into your relationship. The truth is, most of us were never taught how to communicate. We just picked it up along the way. But the good news is, it's a skill you can learn, practice, and grow. Whether you are leading a team, nurturing a relationship, raising your kids, or just trying to be better at expressing yourself, these effective communication tools can transform how you show up and how you speak. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of the 7 points spoke to you the most? Or maybe there is one you need to start working on. I definitely have been working on the aspect of showing empathy when I'm conversing with someone. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's talk more about it. And hey, if this video helped you anyway at all, go ahead and hit that like button, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Let's learn together. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me on this video. Keep growing, keep showing up, and more importantly, keep communicating intentionally with your heart.